Hi, my name is Marc, and I'm here with Teal, and we're gardeners here in the historical garden in Colonial Williamsburg. Gardening in the 18th century was a hobby for people of means. It was an opportunity for gentlemen to show off their wealth, their taste, and their education, all in plant form. Even having a large garden in town shows that you have a lot of money. You don't need to build a rental property or a shop. Instead, you can give over your property to plants. And it's a mixed planting. You have practical vegetables that you want to have on your table when they're in season, turnips, beets, carrots, beans, peas, right next to decorative plants, calendula, brown-eyed Susan, passion flower. The important thing was this was your private space, a backyard, and you wanted it to be as impressive as possible when you invited guests in, full of life, full of greenery, absolutely beautiful. But botany and gardening also go hand in hand in the 18th century. It wouldn't be unusual to have exotic plants, scientific specimens mixed in the garden as well.
Yeah, when the English are first coming to Virginia, they bring both the vegetables and flowers that they're used to growing back in England, but they're very quick to incorporate plants that they find growing with the American Indians for food. And they also take a great interest in native wildflowers, things like the brown-eyed Susan, trees like magnolia, dogwood, something like a sunflower, which they're using ornamentally in gardens and sending specimens of back to botanical gardens in Europe, things that they're sharing with their contemporaries there. And then at this point, they're also searching out plants from the rest of the world. I mean, the further away something comes from, the more exotic, the more exciting. Something like the castor bean you can see behind us coming from Africa would be grown just for its exotic beauty. And another way that you're showing off, or another thing that you're showing off in the time period with a garden like this, is that you have the labor to keep this garden. Some gardeners do consider this a hobby. They might dabble in gardening, but the other source for that would be professional gardeners. The gardening as a trade in England is very developed at the time. Some gardeners that are working here at the Governor's Palace, for example, have actually been trained in England and Scotland before coming here. And in Virginia and the rest of the colonies, another source of that labor is going to be the enslaved, some of whom become very skilled gardeners and are actually hired out around town. Today, we're part of the Department of Historic Trade, so we're actually still using historic tools and techniques to maintain these gardens. And in the varieties we choose, we're using heirlooms, as old a varieties as we can get. And actually this season we're pretty excited. We've been doing some seed saving projects to try to keep some of those varieties. In particular this year we've been trying to save seeds from a pole bean and a lima bean. We're trying to save some seeds from carrots. That's a project we've got coming up this winter. But we're gardening year-round out here, so next time you're in town, please stop by and see us.